I am one, and you are Boom, there we go. Everything should be good. Oh, let me change that a bit actually. Just need to make that a bit smaller. Then it fits all in nicely. That should be good. I think this one, that should all be good. Still haven't figured out how to get the portrait stream, the portrait chat up on my screen. So if you're in the stream on the shorts tab and I miss your chat, just click on my channel page, come to the main stream, and I'll be able to see your chat actually on the system. Runners, big up for the like and the sub, man. Good to see you in here. But yeah, where is it? Because yeah, if I miss your chat list up on the screen here, just come to the mainstream. I can see it all, backlog of all the chat, which is good. But I don't think I can. Nah, it's bugged out. I can't even do it on here. No, it's not on here. That's dark. Okay, yeah, cool. Okay, that's stupid. That's actually really dumb. I've always hated how I can't do it like that. Cool. Personally, I support my granddad's team, but that's my opinion. That's always fair though. That's always fair. Supporting your family team's always fair, but everybody in my family supports different football teams, so it's because everyone's from different areas in it. So I think I'm one of two people that I know City that support City in my family, I think. That's not working on that. Boom. Nah, yeah, I saw that. Villa. I know quite a few Villa. Oh, that was an awful voice crack. I know quite a few Villa fans actually. To be fair, considerable amount. Out of any of the Midlands teams, I think I know one Wolves fan. I think 4 Villa fans. I don't know any Birmingham fans. I don't know any West Brom fans. But yeah, mostly when it comes to teams in the Midlands, it's all Villa for me. I probably personally I'd say Villa the best of all of them. But I think that's a pretty easy sort of thing to come to. They're the only one with any European sort of success. Although Birmingham are quite slept on because of their their current standings in the EFL. Is that all gonna work if I get that up on here? That's not what I'm looking for. Here we go. No, that's not even working. That's stupid. Well, the stream does not want to be my friend today. I'll tell you that. It does not want to be. Does not want to be my friend. But that's fine. That's all good. Hopefully, I'm expecting a good result today after that absolute atrocity that happened on the weekend. Because I'm still not over that. That actually that upset me on a really personal level, man. That performance on the weekend is actually in the top 3 worst things I've seen in the past. Probably say 2 months, 2-3 months. It was dark. Was not a fan of that second half performance. The first half actually I think was quite decent. I think I enjoyed a lot of what I saw in the first half, but that second half performance is yeah. The less said about the second half performance, the better, I think, in my opinion, because like there's not even like much there's not even many positive aspects I can pick from it where I thought, yeah, we like, because we weren't good enough going forward. We were obviously horrible defensively as well, and like that's not to say Spurs didn't improve in the second half. Spurs obviously played a lot better in the second half than they played in the first half. They were like borderline diabolical in the first half, but like we probably should have scored minimum. I'd probably say minimum 4 goals should have been scored in that first half, maybe even 5, given how many chances Haaland had. Actually, now that I think about it, that we should have been completely out of sight by half time. But that doesn't really excuse the fact that we conceded 2 goals. Whether you believe that first Solanke goal should have stood or not is kind of irrelevant to the fact that we conceded 2 goals anyway. Like, even after conceding that first one, we should have sort of like bucked our ideas up a little bit and just been like, yeah, you know what, we're not letting this game slip, especially with how the league's going at the minute. But you know, I think the league's done now. We need to focus on Carabao Cup here, get a good result here, go beat Arsenal at Wembley, get a cheeky trophy on the board after our trophyless season last season, and then focus on the FA Cup and the Champions League. I think that's the way forward. I think it is probably for the best that we forget about the league now, because it's just, in my humble opinion, it's done. In my humble opinion, the league's done. That's just like my opinion. I think league's done. There's no saving that. Two seconds. Is that working? Bro, I'm just trying to get this chat to work properly before the game starts, but it's actually gonna. I actually know it's gonna annoy me. Bro, where is it, bro? Like, it was literally like the first time I streamed like this, it was here. Like, I had it, I could see it all. But now every time I go to do it, it doesn't work. So if anyone's like familiar with Streamlabs and has used Streamlabs to like what is it, sort of, what's the word I'm looking for, like a regular amount, sort of, let me know how I fix this, because I don't know what's going on. This is actually like quite irritating, because I just want to be able to see it all in here, but I don't know. Manage dual, is it in here? I highly doubt it's in here. No. Wait, one moment. Is that we no. That's not even done anything for me. No, I don't like that actually. I've made a huge mistake. No, bro, I need to pattern up with just everything, I think. There we go. Okay. That should be good. Just double check everything's fine before the game starts. Again, I don't know if I'm necessarily like confident about today's game. I'd probably say I'm somewhere within the middle when it comes confidence wise. I think I was very confident on the weekend, which is very surprising, especially when it comes to playing Spurs. I'm never ever confident about playing Spurs, but like I was genuinely confident especially like from what I saw as performing in the first half. I thought, again, like I said, it's a very, very good first half performance, but the second half is just appalling, and I think that's kind of just been the story of our season. Like, obviously, there have been there were improvements in that game that we hadn't seen in other games. You know, we went and scored 2 goals compared to the usual one where we'd score and then just take our foot off the gas. Obviously, that was a lot different on the weekend against Spurs. We actually went and scored 2 goals, which is, you know, not something we always do, which is, I'd probably say, quite bad, especially for City standards, given the way we've performed and the level we've performed at in the last couple. Oh, my mind's went blank. Last couple years, but you know, it's just one of those things. Isaac, my man, how are we feeling about today's game? Because I'm not confident after what I saw on the weekend, bro. Like the weekend game was dark, man. It was dark. Like it was a good first half. It was a good first half. Yeah, it was a very, very good first half. But the second half performance is potentially one of the most diabolical things I've ever seen. Potentially one of the most diabolical things I've seen. No, I don't think you don't really have any reason to sort of be confident though. Like, given what we saw on the weekend, given what we saw against United, given what we saw against Brighton, given everything that we've seen this year, we don't really have much reason to be confident. Because, like, look, obviously, you know, we threw away a 2-goal lead against Spurs in 45 minutes, right? We now have 90 minutes where we could do that exact same thing, right? So the 2-goal lead to me right now means absolutely nothing, given what I saw in the second half against Spurs. That the 2-goal lead, it might as well be 0-0. In my opinion, it might as well be 0-0, because that 2-goal lead can go to 0 really, really quickly, and we learned that on the weekend. But hopefully the players have learned from that as well. You know, again, I'm looking for Foden to have a big performance. Again, I don't think he's been good enough recently, and I'll never ever shy away from admitting that. You know, I might be Foden's biggest fan, but I'll never ever shy away from admitting that I don't think he's been good enough, right? And he hasn't been good enough. So I need a big performance from him today. You know, in a semi-final where we're without Shirky, without Haaland. Like, he is kind of our standout player in this team. Obviously, no disrespect to Semenyo. Why is Marmouche not? Bro, what's going on? Why is Vinders in there twice? In like 2 seconds. I've just noticed an issue with my lineup, because for some reason Marmouche isn't in there, but he's in there. 2 seconds. There's been a slight error. There we go. That should be fixed. There we go. Yeah. As I was saying, yeah. Like, you know, no disrespect to Marmouche, Semenyo, Nico G, Vinders, but Foden, given everything that we've seen in the last 2-3 seasons, like, he's meant to be our big game player here. Yeah, Alan, you've gone mad, unfortunately. Unfortunately, Alan, you've gone mad. You've gone mad, unfortunately. I don't know, bro. I had like 3 different websites give me 3 different lineups. I don't know what to believe. The lineup that I've got on screen is the official City lineup that obviously City went and put out. So that lineup I got on screen is the official lineup. I'm gonna guess Foden's gonna play false 9 with Marmouche off the left and Semenyo off the right. You know, I could be mistaken, but the way I'm seeing that lineup, I can't imagine Marmouche on the 9. Foden off the left and Semenyo off the right. I think it's going to be Foden as the false 9. I think we've got a very positive midfield. Very, very positive midfield. You know, I can imagine there's going to be a lot of time where the ball's going forward. You know, I think we're here to play attacking football. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing is left to be decided. But it doesn't look like we're going to come and sit on this 2-goal lead that we have. From what I'm seeing in this lineup, if I saw Bernardo and Foden playing in midfield, I'd be more inclined to believe that we were here to protect a 2-goal lead. But with O'Reilly, Gonzalez, and Vinders, I think that there's enough attacking firepower there, especially with Marmouche, and Semenyo. Tell me what City have won. Well, City equalled Man United's biggest achievement in the treble, and also won 4 Premier League titles in a row, compared to Fergie's best, which was 3. So you know, but that's just the facts that I have to back that one up with. How long have we got till kick off now? We've got like around 9 minutes till kick off. Yeah, no, the nerves are setting in. Like this could be embarrassing. Like the weekend was embarrassing. You know, we've had quite a few embarrassing performances this season already. Even this year already, I think a lot of our performances in 2026 have been embarrassing. But you know, we've got the chance to, you know, get ourselves into the first final of the season. You know, hopefully win the first silverware of the season. If you play both Nico and Rodri, you've got no backup. If you play them separate, there's not enough defensive midfield in this pitch. We need Elliot Anderson. Well, obviously, I'm seeing a lot. Of talk that we're looking for a Bernardo replacement, because Bernardo will be leaving. So obviously that does open the door for Elliot Anderson. Obviously we've got Phillips out on loan again, and hopefully he can finally get a move away, which then opens up more time and space for us to get more midfielders in. Like the midfield, the midfield rebuild is been a slow burner. Obviously, we got rid of a lot of midfielders last season in Gundogan, Kevin De Bruyne. Obviously, we've got Kovacic just not even playing. Yeah, I heard Mateus Fernandes. I haven't heard great things about Fernandes, to be fair. You know, I know a few Southampton fans that have told me he was okay, but he's nothing special. And I haven't really seen enough of him at West Ham, which is probably harsh, because West Ham, you know, they don't play great football. So you know, like it's a tricky one, really. It's a tricky one when it comes to the midfielders that we could go and get. Oh, what have you heard? He's still young. Yo, of course he's still young, but like the issue is we need to sort of go and get players. Like we keep falling into the trap of buying young players that have the potential to be good in the future, which is why we ended up with players like Savinho with low output, Bob with low output. Obviously Doku started with quite low output at City. You know, we do need to sign players that are ready for the here and now. And obviously the signings of Mamouche, Semenyo, Vinders and Guehi have sort of cemented that. Yeah, João Neves is a good player, obviously. Him and Vitinha are excellent players, but again, it's just too much money. Like, you'd actually be throwing way too much money at that signing. And once a signing gets to, like, once you get to the 100 mil stage of signing a player, like, it's really difficult for that player to ever live up to those expectations. I mean, you even look at players like Caicedo, Rice, like, are they 100? Have they justified 100 million? Enzo Fernandez, have they justified 100 million? Despite not being flops, yeah. You know, I'm not going to come out and say any of those 3 players I just named are flops, but have they justified £100 million? Have any over £100 million or €100 million signings really ever proved to be worth that much money? Because it's really, really difficult, especially from a midfield point of view. Did Man City win all these trophies equal, fair and sustainable? Well, equal, yeah. Fair, up for debate. Sustainable, I'd like to think so. Next question, please. But no, it's like, it's an interesting question though, because like, does anyone want anything fair? Like, that's the thing. Like, you're never going to have a perfect winner when it comes to the Premier League, when it comes to football, when it comes to football at the highest level. Everybody cheats in their own way. Everybody cheats in their own way. Everyone breaks the rules in their own way. Arsenal were breaking the rules we're breaking the Premier League sponsor rules, you know. You've got the heavy rumours that Liverpool were faking asthma diagnosis to enhance players' stamina using medication, you know. You get the rumours that Fergie was paying referees and intimidating referees. Like, you know, you look at Real Madrid, Barcelona, you know, heavy corruption talks around both of those teams. Juventus match fixing in Syria. Like, are you ever going to have a perfect fair winner? I don't think so. So it's like, I think football's about who can cheat the most effective way and not get caught. I think it is where the highest level of football is at the moment. Is that exactly where you want it to be? No, of course not. You know, you'd want everyone to do everything by the book, but that's never ever going to happen. It's never ever going to happen. Am I going to sit here and say that City are 100% doing everything legitimately? No, of course not. Of course City aren't doing everything 100% legitimately. But are all the rest of the big clubs in the Premier League doing that as well? No. So it's like, it's one of those things of, what do you define as fair in football, and what is actually a realistic sort of expectation of fair? Like, what is the playing level that the playing field that everyone's playing at? What is fair when it comes to the Premier League? Because everyone's cheating, aren't they? Like, Chelsea are blatantly cheating in front of us. You know, Chelsea are basically doing money laundering in front of everybody right now. Do you rate the Premier League refs and assistant refs? Why do they make so many mistakes with VAR? Because I think they're, the reason mistakes get made on VAR, right, is because they're out to protect each other. They are very much out to protect each other. So even when they make a mistake, they rarely get called out on it. So they feel more comfortable making a mistake because they know the backlash towards them is not going to be huge, because they've got protection from the PGMOL as an organisation. But also, some of them do have main character syndrome, and some of them, you know, want to be the main character when, you know, the game of football is not about them. The game of football is about the players on the pitch. You are there to moderate that game of football. You know? Like, everyone has a role to play on that pitch. Yours is to moderate that game of football and make sure the game is as fair as possible. You know, everyone has a role. Like, if Donnarumma, for example, yeah, and this isn't me being harsh on ref, if Donnarumma comes out of his box, starts doing kiki uppies and rainbow flicks, and we can see 10 goals a match, is Donnarumma playing his role? No, he's trying to be the main character and doing too much. So it's not even just saying, oh, the referee should not have a, you know, should not be valued. I just think he should do what he's there to do. Do you like modern day football playing style compared to previous decades? Well, I mean, I was born in 2003, so like, I grew up watching early 2010s, like late noughties, early 2010s football, of course. I think the 2010s football for me obviously peak, because that is mainly what I grew up on. I think when I look at football from around 2010 to probably around, I want to say, probably 2019, 2020 really, I think it was at its most exciting. But I think right now the modern Premier League is more competitive. I think the modern Premier League is more competitive, and it's more fair from a like a playfield sort of thing. Like, you know, any team can beat any team. You know, you got Newcastle winning trophies, Palace winning trophies, Spurs winning trophies. But is the football the most exciting? No, probably not. And it's because teams aren't going to go out and batter 90% of the teams in the league every week like they used to a few years ago. So it's probably not as entertaining, but I'd say it's more competitive. How would you rate Newcastle's growth as a Premier League club since the change in ownership? I don't think it's like, I think it's impressive. 100% it's impressive. I mean, again, you can levy the same arguments at City and Chelsea, saying that the growth wasn't natural and it was artificial. But I do feel like under Howe, even though they won a trophy last season, which is something they hadn't done in years, I do actually think that they've kind of stagnated as a team, especially this season. You know, their new signings haven't exactly hit the ground running. Obviously, apart from Voldemar, they're getting in on the goals. You know, and you know, I do think they've stagnated and sort of went and declined this season under Howe. And I don't know if he's the man to take them to the next level. But I do think they've had a steady sort of progression and growth as a club. Obviously, Villa are back up there now. Obviously, you've got teams like Brighton that have grown significantly, Bournemouth that have grown significantly. I think Bournemouth have probably had the most significant growth of any Premier League team you know, over the last few years. I mean, just look at how big the club is and look how big the stadium is. Like, they were never meant to be here, and that's kind of what makes that so impressive. Let's be honest. The replacing Isak is very difficult, but it's not even about replacing Isak though, because realistically, that Isak replacement has been their best signing that they've made. It's just when you look at signings like Ramsey, you know, I still don't think the midfield depth is good enough. Alanga has been an absolute disaster. Obviously, Visser was injured for a long time after coming in, and it took him time to actually get game time. You know, they fumbled a lot of signings. They didn't get Trafford, who's obviously ironically playing today. Had to settle for Ramsdale. Obviously, I don't think Nick Pope's good enough to take them to the next level. You know, they're still playing Dan Burn at left back, which I just don't think. I think he can be a huge liability at times. You know, I do think there's just glaring issues in the squad that haven't been addressed. And I do think if it wasn't for the intensity and the atmosphere that they play at St James's Park, I do think things could be looking a lot worse for Newcastle this season. I think they are heavily backed by their home atmosphere and the performances they put in at home. But that's just my opinion. Who should succeed how in Newcastle? I don't know though. That's the thing. I can't exactly name somebody that would go to Newcastle and succeed over, you know, Eddie Howe. But at the same time, I don't think he's got anything more to give Newcastle. Like, I just feel like he's stagnated. Like, I haven't seen an improvement this season. Like, you know, they peaked last season and won that trophy, you know, and it was time to build on that. You know, they showed that they were serious. They're playing Champions League football. They're winning trophies. You know, they've been in the Champions League twice in 3 years, I believe. You know, they're winning trophies. They had a huge amount of money come in from Isak, so it's not like they, you know, and they knew they were going to get that money for Isak as well, because they knew he was going to leave eventually. They had the time to go and spend on players, but clearly the vision that they were selling and the project they were selling to these players was not good enough, and that's why they didn't land Sesko, they didn't land Trafford, and they didn't land all of these other players that they've had the sort of, what is it, like they had their sights set on in the transfer window. And obviously you're not going to see people like Flick or Enrique go to Newcastle. Bro, why is my game not started? Because the game should have kicked off, bro. What's going on? There we go. It's actually working now. Sorry, my bad. Sky Sports decided to just have a bit of a moment and not start the game when it was meant to. My bad. Let me just get everything set up on that one, and then I shall be go back to reading chat. There we go. That should all be good. I'm not too sure what happened there. That was a bit weird. But yeah, obviously you're not going to get big names going into Newcastle like that. But I think the allure that Newcastle will have over other clubs like United, Spurs, Chelsea is, I think that Newcastle will let managers, will let coaches be managers instead of head coaches, which makes a world of difference. Would you rather be the head coach at Man United and not be able to make any of your own decisions, or be the manager of Newcastle? I think personally I'd rather be the manager of Newcastle. Who's the greatest? De Bruyne, obviously. I don't think, like, the level of consistency, the big moments that De Bruyne pulled out, I don't think there's anybody better than De Bruyne. I honestly do not believe there's anyone better than De Bruyne that's played for Manchester City, if I'm being totally honest. I mean, you know, you can always make the case for Company, Aguero, obviously Dickov as well. You know, you've got to respect what he did, but you know, you can't do better than De Bruyne. And many teams' legends would struggle to do what De Bruyne did at City. Could I see Enrique? I don't think so. I actually think he'll leave PSG and he won't manage for a few years. So I do think we'll end up with somebody like Alonso, like Maresca or Company. And I, at the moment, as much as I'm not 100% sold on the idea, I think it will be Enzo Maresca that will be Manchester City's next manager after Pep Guardiola, who looks like he will be leaving at the end of the season, unfortunately. Semenyo on the ball now though for City. I'd like to see Enrique at City, don't get me wrong. I think he's a very, very good manager, but I don't think it's feasible. I don't think it'll happen, if I'm honest. Hey Nori. Getting pressed by Trippier, but he goes back to Ake. No, O'Reilly. I actually need to move my screen a little bit. 2 secs. There we go. Trafford to hit it long for City. In hopes of finding Semenyo, but he's beat to it in the air by Dan Burn. And again as well, with the fact that they've still got Trippier as well, like obviously he's got the leadership abilities that you kind of value at the team and value at the club, but like his performances over the last 2 years, 3 years have been diabolical, in my opinion anyway. Obviously Gordon's not been good enough this season, and I just don't think Eddie Howe's style of play, given the results he's getting, like, is negative football and he's not getting results. And you don't survive at a club if you're playing, like, you can play exciting football and not get results and be given more leeway, but if you're playing like disastrous football on the eye and you're not getting results, then you know you will probably lose your job very, very quickly. And at the moment, that's kind of what Eddie Howe's doing at Newcastle. We're just City just knocking the ball about, you know, patiently at the moment. Vinders knocks one in behind for Marmoush. He's got Semenyo in the middle. It's Omar Marmoush. Marmoush scores! In off Dan Burn. Omar Marmoush, 6 minutes into the second leg, and he's made it 1-0. That was a bit of a crazy goal, if I'm honest, right? Because I thought it was a beautiful 1-2 between Marmoush and Reinders, but I thought he was going to square. I thought for everything, you know, he had to square that to Semenyo, but he goes alone and gets lucky enough for the ball to ricochet up off Dan Burn and into the back of the Newcastle net, and City lead within 6 minutes. I mean, you look at this again. Ake finds Marmoush. It's a beautiful little flick pass to Reinders, and Reinders just flicks it around the corner to him. Dan Burn goes in for the tackle. He gets a foot on the ball, does Dan Burn, but he's very unlucky for the ball to just bounce up onto Marmoush's leg and over Aaron Ramsdale, and that is 1-0 City at the Etihad, 3-0 on aggregate. I need to change the aggregate score as well. 2 seconds. Where I can't remember what that is. It's on here somewhere, but I actually can't remember where I have the aggregate score on here somewhere, but I can't remember where it is. Bro, I'm bugging. But no, that's a huge goal for City. Huge goal. Bro, where's the aggregate score, bro? I know it's on here. I'm bugging. I might need to actually get it up on the desktop. 2 seconds. Because I know where to find it on the desktop. It's just not. You know, that's a good start. You know, I couldn't have really asked for a much better start from City than what I've just seen. You know, nice early goal again. You know, there was some luck in it. I won't lie. There was a huge aspect of luck for Marmoush being able to get the deflection off of Dan Burn after I think he definitely probably should have squared it to Semenyo, and that's a huge save by Trafford. That is a very, very good save. Come out and claim. I don't know what you'd call that, because Newcastle were in there. Voltamada plays it through to Gordon, who's through on goal. He isolates Nunez, plays it across to Willock. Willock takes one touch and just kind of plays it into Trafford's hand as he's rushing out for City there, and he keeps City's early lead intact. Yeah, that's big for Trafford again. He made a huge save in the first leg as well, and moments like that are going to be big for his confidence, because we saw his confidence knocked against Spurs and against Leverkusen in the Champions League. So, you know, it's important that he makes big saves and has those big moments in the game. We've got Gonzalez running through on goal now. He gets back up on his feet after losing out to, I think that was Willock. I can't actually see it, but yeah, we're going to see a replay of this Marmoush goal again, I think. It was Ramsey. It was indeed Ramsey that dispossessed Nico. But it went out for a throw-in, and we're going to have Nunez on the throw-in. He tries to throw it into Marmoush in the box, but Botman gets across and sees that the ball just goes nicely through to Ramsdale in goal. So Semenyo presses Burn high, but unfortunately the ball does ricochet off of him and go out for a Newcastle throw-in. is what I'm looking for. Voltemada now. He wrestles off the challenge from Nunez and gets it out wide to Kieran Trippier. He's got Gordon running through the middle. He does try to dink it into Gordon, but Kusanov is able to chest it back to James Trafford, who can keep hold of the ball and roll it out to O'Reilly. O'Reilly looks to hit one forward to Semenyo, who brings it down nicely. And then back to Nunez. Nunez takes it past Lewis Hall, who I think is one of Newcastle's best players this season. I honestly do rate Lewis Hall a lot. Foden, he's dispossessed by Dan Burn. But Nico G wins the ball back, and now it's Reinders in the midfield. Tijani Reinders to carry the ball forward. He's got Marmoush ahead of him on the left. He does find Marmoush. Marmoush cuts it back to Aït-Nouri. And now it's Reinders. He shoots! Oh, and it's just wide. It's just wide. Tell you what, Reinders has started this game very, very well. Bro, why is my stream just like stopped completely there? That's stupid. Aït-Nouri now brings the ball down. He's dispossessed by Trippier. Tonali. He's dispossessed by Reinders, who then has Marmoush get in his way and ends up bundling his own teammate to the floor. Ooh, Newcastle just about survived there. Now it's Willock. He's got Hall on the overlap. Inside to Gordon. Now it's Willock. Back to Tonali. Now Ramsey. Tonali. Cross to Shaw. And now it's Kieran Trippier. Ramsey. And back to Shaw. Again, City haven't, Newcastle even haven't started great going forward, but they have had that, they have caught us once in our lapse in concentration. 3-goal lead is a big lead. It is a big lead, but that can disappear in a matter of seconds. So it's just about, because as soon as you concede one goal, the momentum shifts. It's that simple. So we've just got to keep on top of this game. We've got to keep our concentration at the back. We can't be making silly passes, loose passes in the midfield, because Newcastle are a team that can counter-attack. They like to counter-attack. We saw that when we played during the league, the amount of times we got cut open by Harvey Barnes moving forward. Obviously he's not in the team today, but you have Willock, you have Lewis Hall, you have Voltemada, you have Gordon, all willing runners that will get in behind. And when you've got Kieran Trippier, who I obviously said I don't think his form's been great over the past 2 years, but he can play a football. He can make a pass from that right back position. He can pick a pass from anywhere. So we do have to be cautious. Like, this isn't just going to be a walk in the park. Now we got a 3-goal lead. We do still have to put some hard work in and put in a bit of a graft. Ake. He brings that one down nicely. Out to Aït-Nouri. O'Reilly. Nico G. That is a loose pass in the midfield now. But now Trippier pulls out a loose pass and Foden latches onto it. Now it's Nunez. Is that given as a foul? No way he's given that as a foul. He literally won the ball. What? He literally could not have won any more of that football. Now, show me the replay, because he could have not have won any more of that football. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. He literally gets to the ball first. No way. Nah, you're having a laugh. The game's so gone. The game has actually never been this gone before, bro. What do you mean that's a foul? Ake heads it clear though, only as far as Hall. Now it's Ramsey who lets fly and misses a target completely, and it will be a goal kick to City. No way. I still can't believe he's given that as a foul, man. Like, come on, let's use some common sense, please. Some common sense is very much needed in this situation. Trafford. He goes long in search of Semenyo, who just about keeps it in and knocks it back to Nunez, who goes back to Semenyo. And he's bundled over by Dan Burn, and that will be a foul and a free kick to City. Ake, Ain't Nori, inside to Vinders, and then flicks it back onto Ain't Nori, and he's got green grass to run into. Still Ain't Nori. He's got Marmoush and Semenyo in the box. Foden joining them on the edge. Ain't Nori shoots, and that's going to be a corner to City. He probably should have squared that. He definitely should have squared that, but Shaw gets himself in the way of the shot. It's a beautiful play from him and Vinders, and he does really well to keep that ball in, and the burst of pace is absolutely exceptional. He probably should cut that one back to Foden, but he takes the touch across. Shaw gets in front of his shot, and it will be a corner to Manchester City. Unfortunately, Foden will be taking the corner, and it's not going to be a very good corner. But, hey-ho. Wait, is it Foden on the corner? Or have we got a Vinders corner? No, Vinders crosses it in. Okay, did that hit a hand? You know, that might have hit Dan Burns' hand, you know, but the ball's still alive here. Marmoush. Got Gonzalez calling for it on the edge of the box. Still Omar Marmoush. He plays it to the edge of the box to Foden. Now it's Vinders. He tries to find space for a shot. Back to Nico. Out wide to Ain't Nori, who's in acres of space looking to cross the ball in. He does cross the ball in. It's brought down by Shaw. Shot by Foden, blocked. Foden again. Knocks it back to Nico. Now it's Marmoush. Inside to Semenyo. Semenyo crosses it. And O'Reilly just misses the ball and can't get it on target. Well, can't even get a touch on the ball and put that into an open goal. But, you know, that was a good attack from City. Very, very resilient attack. You know, we kept trying to find space. We had sort of willing runners all the time. And, yeah, O'Reilly does get unlucky to not be able to put that one into the back of the net. Burn now, it's Hall. He's being pressed by Nunez. Back to Burn. That's not even... Sorry, that's Botman. Sorry, my apologies. I don't know how I'm getting anyone confused with Dan Burn, but here we are. Voltemada. Kieran Trippier. Forward now to Voltemada. He's now dispossessed by Ain't Nori. O'Reilly. He goes forward to Vinders. There's a beautiful touch by Tijani Vinders. He cuts it back. And that's Omar Marmoush. Marmoush lets fly, and it's deflected, and that will be a corner to Manchester City again. That was very similar range to his goal against Bournemouth last season, which I think won Premier League goal of the season. It's a beautiful ball forward. Beautiful touch again by Vinders. I think he's been exceptional when he's open in 20 minutes. He goes back to Marmoush. Marmoush has time and space to set the shot, but once again, Shaw gets in the way of it, and it will be another City corner. You know, for someone that hasn't had much game time for City this season due to injury and obviously AFCON, he doesn't lack confidence, Omar Marmoush. He really doesn't. And that's something I really do like to see in a player. He's happy to take on a shot from anywhere. Foden corner now. And that's straight at Ramsdale, and he punches it clear. And Ain't Nori can't keep possession of the ball, and that will go out for a Newcastle throw-in. We need to actually take Foden off corner duty, man. It's never going to get better. It's never ever going to get better. We just had a shot from Semenyo now. You know, Newcastle give up the ball way too easily from that throw in, and it's a turn, and it's a shot by Semenyo that's dragged just wide. Nice, Anthony Gordon shoots! Big save by Trafford. Big save. But once again, woeful City defending. I mean, yeah, Kusanov doesn't do well enough in the air there. It's not down to Gordon, and Trafford rushes out, makes himself big and blocks the shot and puts it out for the Newcastle corner, I do believe. What was that throw-in? Corner for Newcastle. That looked like it was headed clear by Dan Burn, actually, of all people. Trippier, Lewis Hall. It's hit forward towards Tonali, but his head is claimed by Trafford, and he can just take his time with the ball and try to take the sting out of the match here. Because Newcastle have had 2 or 3 attacks there in the last 2 minutes that have led to attempts on goal, which we kind of do need to just sort of manage a bit better. And Aït-Nouri's now just, well, that wasn't even Aït-Nouri even, that was that Nico G? Just give up possession easily on the edge of our box. But it's one back now by Ake, who just toe pokes it forward in the path of Marmoush, who loses out to Shaw. Now it's Ramsey. Shaw again. Back to Botman. Botman goes forward into the midfield, but Gonzalez wins the header. And then Foden brings it down under pressure from Tonali, but he ends up just gifting the ball to Ramsey. Now it's Trippier. That's a beautiful interception from Aït-Nouri to stop the ball going through to Gordon. But it's back to Trippier. He goes back to Ramsey. Now it's Tonali. Newcastle starting to grow into this game a little bit now. City really do need to make sure we're on our A game defensively. Ramsdale. Dan Burn. He goes into Voltemada, and now it's Willock. Hall. Again, really tidy player is Lewis Hall. He's just been brought down and fouled by Nunez, so it will be a free kick to Newcastle inside their own half. Now, I'm a huge fan of Lewis Hall. Huge fan. I definitely do think he should be in the England squad for the World Cup, because every time I've watched Newcastle, he's impressed. I thought, even though they were absolutely diabolical against Manchester United, he was their best player on the pitch by a mile. So, you know, big up Lewis Hall. Tonali. Hall. Willock. Again, a lot of possession for Newcastle in this last 5 or so minutes. Burn. Trippier, now it's Gordon. He looks to get the cross in. He's been doubled up on by Ake and Vinders, the 2 Dutchmen, and the ball is won by Vinders and then power play by Ake. But it did take a deflection off Gordon, I believe, and that will be a City throw. Again, guys, remember, like the stream if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. You know, a lot more content like this coming soon. That's a foul, surely. That's a foul. Yeah, that will be a free kick to City. Ake. Back to Trafford, who I think started this game really well, if I do say so myself. He plays it short to O'Reilly, who takes a bit of a heavy touch, but able to find Ake, who hits it forward towards Marmoush. Shaw once again gets the better of him, but now it's Vinders. Skips round 1, gets it off to Aït-Nouri. Now it's O'Reilly. Forward to Marmoush. Drops it back to Aït-Nouri, who goes down. And it will be a foul and a free kick to City. Even though I do believe ref should have probably played on there. O'Reilly, Gonzalez. Now it's Ake, O'Reilly, Foden, who I still believe hasn't really gotten into this game. Plays a beautiful pass forward to Semenyo though, who's got Nunez in support. Doesn't use him, goes to Foden instead. Now it's Nunez. He goes back into Semenyo. Now Foden taps it to O'Reilly. O'Reilly shapes up the shot, tries to take it around Ramsey. He's dispossessed, but then City have the ball back with Aït-Nouri. Now it's Vinders. Nico. Aït-Nouri. Nico G. Again, not really much of a press here from Newcastle. City being afforded a lot of time on the ball, which obviously we'll take at this point. Ake, Kusanov, Nunez. Nice turn on the ball there by Nunez to spin past Hall. Loses his footing ever so slightly, but he keeps going. Probably should release the ball now because he has run himself into trouble and he is dispossessed by Hall, and now that will be a foul and a yellow card to Nunez. He kept hold of that ball way too long and worked his way into a bit of trouble, but lovely persistence by Hall though, again I must say. Yeah, he should have dispossessed. He beat Hall twice. Who scored? Omar. Big up Omar Mamouche. But yeah, Nunez, that's a stupid free kick and yellow card to give away. Oh, what have you sent me? What is that? Nah, bro, I'm never playing you. Respectfully, I'm never playing you again on FIFA, bro. I'm never playing you again. Have you showed Judy that? Show Judy that, bro. I'm never playing you again. Nah. Oh, Kieran Trippier free kick. I'm not. If we can see the Kieran Trippier free kick in 2026, bro, I don't even know what to say. Nah. We can see this Kieran Trippier free kick in 2026, bro, and it's over. It's over, bro. That's a big save by Trafford. Very, very good save. What formation are we playing? I think we're playing a 4-3-3 with Foden's a false 9 with Semenyo and Mamouche either side. With O'Reilly in midfield with Vinders and Gonzalez. Now it's Vinders rushing forward. Again, probably been City's best player so far. Still Vinders. Now it's Antoine Semenyo. He shoots! And it's just about cleared. No, it's not. Oh, my Mamouche. 2-0 City. I think that was Trippier. Couldn't do enough to keep that out. Oh, my Mamouche. Nah, he's back, bro. After post AFCON Mamouche, bro. I'm here for it every single day of the week, bro. Every single day of the week, I'm here for post AFCON Omar Mamouche. Bro, I'm here for it every single day, bro. Every single day. There's lovely stuff, man. Lovely stuff. Beautiful. Obviously, the ball comes forward to Semenyo. And then it's Vinders who carries the ball a very, very, very long way. Back out to Semenyo, who's just about onside. Being played onside by Trippier there, I do believe. He takes the shot. Trippier tries to clear it. And then just puts the ball up in the air and presents a cheeky little open goal header for Omar Mamouche to make it 2-0 and 4-0 on aggregate if it actually wants to let me update the score, but it doesn't want to. Fair enough. There we are. Bro, I'm not watching the Carabao Cup final. I don't know about you. I'm not watching that, bro. I don't have the mental strength to sit through that, unfortunately. Unfortunately, I do not have the mental stability to sit through that 90 minutes of absolute torture. Like, big up anyone that can, of course, big up anyone that can, but me personally, that's bro, where's the aggregate, bro? I keep losing where the aggregate score is on this thing, and it's actually driving me up the wall. Oh, what has happened there? I did not want that. I don't even know what's just happened there. I didn't like that. Bro, where's the aggregate score? Am I bugging out? Yo, I might be bugging out. Like, ever so slightly, I might be bugging out. I think I've went mad. I may have ever so slightly went mad, and I'm not focused on the game. So literally anything could be happening right now. So I'm trying to fix this mess I've made. There it is. There it is. Finally, bro. Finally. You know what? That goal went in like 20 whole minutes ago, and I've only just fixed up. I actually need to pattern up for real. You see pundits saying Arsenal clung on in the easiest game ever. Nah, like the thing is though, yeah. If Chelsea actually had competent attackers, I do think they beat you. Like they just don't have like competent attackers. They've got people that can produce moments of magic. You know, Pedro Neto, Cole Palmer. They can all produce moments of magic, but are any of them in 2020? Oh, Garnacho as well. In 2026, are any of those consistent performers that you're going to get a performance out of week in, week out? No. So, if they actually had competent attackers, I think they beat you. Honestly, but you know, it's Chelsea. Foden to Vinders, who carries his ball forward once again. He's got Marmoush and Semenyo ahead of him. He finds Semenyo. This time Semenyo cuts inside. That's a beautiful tackle, but it's still Vinders 3-0. Get in! Tijani Vinders, and I think he's been the best player on the pitch by far in this first half. What a goal! What a goal! He's carried that ball a very, very long way. He's then found a beautiful pass to Semenyo. He cuts inside. I think it was... I'm not too sure who the defender was that got the touch on the ball there to take it out of his path before he could put that to get his shot off. But Semenyo sets himself again, lays it off to Vinders, who places it into the back of the net. Again, beautiful, beautiful run here by Vinders. Marmoush and Semenyo ahead of him. He plays Semenyo, who's onside. He then goes to take on Burn. Burn does well to get a foot on the ball. Semenyo leaves it for Vinders to just basically pass into the back of the net. And that's 3-0 to City on the day, 5-0 in aggregate, and we will be playing Arsenal in the Carabao Cup final at Wembley. Yeah, again, unlucky from Burn, but you know, Vinders will take that every day of the week. Nah, Tijani Vinders may be him, you know. He may actually be him. Foden now. O'Reilly. Look, I said before this game we could see some good attacking football, and we're seeing it. Ask Yudi for thoughts on my team, and he said suicidal. Yeah, I don't blame him though. Nico G, Foden, Semenyo. He's now running it down Burn, cuts it back. Still Semenyo. He's bundled to the floor by Willock, but I think that was a fair challenge. Tonali, Voltamada, who is having his shirt pulled by Gonzalez, but the ref says play on now. It's Gordon. He goes back to Willock. Tonali. Is this a foul by Willock? No, I think Semenyo definitely does go down a bit too easy there. But it's a free kick to Newcastle to be taken by Hall. or Tonali. It actually looks like it will be Lewis Hall. Goes back out wide to Gordon. It's one back by Marmoush, but Lewis Hall gets the ball back. Now it's Tonali. Hall hooks it out wide to Gordon. City's still in a very, very deep defensive shape. Willock on the overlap. Knocks it round Nunez, but Nunez does well to recover, but it's still Newcastle. Hall, he's just tried to dink one into the box and hit Foden straight in the face, and Nico Gonzalez eventually gets the ball clear for City, and it will go out for a Newcastle throw-in. O'Reilly to Johnny Vinders. Nico G. O'Reilly. Nico G again. Now it's Mateus Nunes. Back to Kusanov. O'Reilly. He launches one long in search of Semenyo, but it's seen all the way through to Ramsdale. Now Vikes though, the reason they're losing, bro, have you seen who they've got in goal? Have you seen who Newcastle have in goal? Now it's Vinders still. He hits one across goal, but it's blocked by Ramsdale and again goes out for a corner. Newcastle have been so poor at the back though. So poor. Now this Vinders performance though has me in awe. This Vinders performance is one for the ages. I've not seen a player play like this since Shamak at Arsenal. That's how good he is right now. Oh, Foden corner. I'm not expecting big things. Corner in. And he's not even beat the first man. Someone take him off corners, please. Please, 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 please. Somebody just walk up to Phil and be like, bro, you're not that guy. Let me take this corner because I can't keep watching it. I cannot keep watching it. I do not care if we're 3-0 up. I do not care if it's 5-0 on aggregate. Someone take Phil Foden off of corner duty immediately. I will pitch invade on this stadium and start taking the corners myself. If nobody stands up to him and goes, Phil, you're not that guy, please stop taking corners. Because I can't do it, bro. I can't do it. I cannot do it. Vinders, O'Reilly, Marmoush, O'Reilly again. Ain't Nori. O'Reilly. Abdulkadir Kusanov. O'Reilly again. Now it's Ake. Ain't Nori's plenty of space on the left hand side. He does find him. He goes inside to Marmoush. He goes back to Ake. And now it's Nico G. Kusanov. Ain't Nori. Side to Marmoush. Nico G. Inside to Semenyo. Now it's Kusanov. Looks like we'll see it. Well, it looks like we're happy to see this half out and see the game out really. And when you're 3-0 up on the night, 5-0 in aggregate, like, is there really any point wasting all your energy? I wouldn't say so. We've got a big game on the weekend in the race for top 4, because it's not a title race anymore. We're in a top 4 race, unfortunately. Oh, Marmoush. Ain't Nori. Nico G. Ake Vinders. He dinks that forward to Johnny Vinders now, who tries to take the touch round Botman. Just about keeps it in. But Ain't Nori's dispossessed by Trippier. Now it's Ramsey. Trippier. Botman. He looks to switch it to Hall. Looks like Nunez will be there to intercept it. No, it does fly over Nunez's head and will go out for a throw-in. Do believe that will be a Newcastle throw-in as well, because I think that took a touch. Oh no, it will be a City throw-in. It didn't take a touch off Nunez. I thought that hit Nunez's back as it came over, but apparently not. Kusanov. O'Reilly. Ake. Marmoush. Nico G. Forward to Marmoush. Now Nori. Blitzes past Trippier. He's got Marmoush ahead of him. Does find Marmoush. Marmoush cuts it back. Finds Nico. He looks to let fly, and it's straight at Ramsdale. And, he lines it up well, but I think it's a poor strike actually. It's a poor strike, and it's got poor placement as well. I'd expect better from him from that range anyway. Got Gordon currently on the floor. Looks like Harvey Barnes will be getting ready to come on for Newcastle, because it does look like Anthony Gordon will not be able to continue, which is probably a net negative for City, because he's not been great as of recent, has he? So yeah, there will be a sub now for Newcastle. Harvey Barnes on for Gordon. Vinders. Gonzalez. He hits one forward to Marmoush, who I think was just offside, but he's able to bring it down nonetheless. He goes back to Nori. And the the linesman has now put up his flag for offside on Omar Marmoush. Haaland looks to be in disbelief that was given as offside. Newcastle look to switch the ball out to Lewis Hall. He goes back to Dan Burn. Hall again. Back to Botman. So we're now about to reach the 45th minute. I'm going to say it's about to be going to be 4 minutes of added time. I'm going to say 4 minutes. 4 minutes. Trafford on the ball for City. He throws it into Vinders, who heads it back to O'Reilly, who takes a bit of a loose touch, but is able to turn around Willock. Now it's Vinders. He plays one out wide for Semenyo to chase, but is intercepted by Byrne, headed across to Botman, and then back to Ramsdale. There is 4 minutes of added time. Look at that, man. Look at that. They don't call me Nathaniel knows ball for no reason, bro. Look at that. Look at that, man. Look at that. I just know my stuff, bro. Respectfully, I just know my stuff. Nori. we're just going to see this half out now, I think. Get into half-time 3-0. Probably make a few changes to save players like, I'll probably say, Vinders. Even though he's been our best player, I'd say you take him off. Take him off at half-time. That's a poor pass from Aït-Nouri, but he just about got away with it originally. Newcastle come forward now with Tonali, who is brought down by Aït-Nouri, and it is going to be a free kick to Newcastle. Free kick to Newcastle. It's whipped in towards Botman, and that's a good save by Trafford. Palms it out for a corner. As we come into the second minute of the 4 additional, it's whipped in by Trippier. Goes over Nunez's head, over Voltamada's head, and then Botman tries to guide it in, but Trafford can comfortably palm that one out for the corner. I think he's had a good first half, and hopefully we can keep this at 3-0 and keep the clean sheet coming into half-time. Corner for Newcastle, short to Hall. Then he cuts it back to Trippier, who does hit the ball up off of Nunez's arm, but I'm inclined to believe that is too close to his body, and also his arm's in a natural position and the ball was too close to him when it was hit. That might be a penalty, actually. I didn't realise it hit his second arm. That could actually be a penalty, you know. Are VAR going to check that? Because that could be a penalty. That could be a penalty. Nunez may have lost his mind. No penalty, and it will be a corner to Newcastle. Cross in from Trippier, once again claimed by Trafford. I would actually say Trafford is definitely better in the air than Donnarumma. If there's one thing I think that Trafford's definitely better than Donnarumma at, it's claiming crosses, 100%. He doesn't flap at the ball as much as Donnarumma, which is weird because he is shorter. But he plays it out to Kusanov. Now it's O'Reilly. Gonzalez, Foden. Nicole G wanted to play that one long to Mamouche, but instead hesitated and went sideways to O'Reilly. Goes back to Gonzalez, who then sees the half-time whistle blown. So it will be Manchester City 3, Newcastle 0 going into half-time. And I'd say I'm pretty happy with that performance, you know. I think that's a very professional performance. You know, Newcastle have had their chances. You know, there have been a few lapses in concentration from Nunez. Obviously, getting dispossessed by Hall. But other than that, you know, I think Trafford's made some good saves. We've played some really good attacking stuff. I think Vinders has been the standout so far. I think he's played really, really well in the midfield. I think Marmouche, Semenyo obviously looked lively ahead of him. You know, I don't think there's many players that aren't sort of carrying their weight out there. I think, you know, other than the few lapses of concentration from Nunez at the back, I think, you know, everyone has definitely sort of carried their weight and we're playing well, and we should now comfortably see ourselves through to the final at Wembley. But, you know, I think that's a good first half. I would say more of the same in the second, but I could definitely, again, like I said, see us making changes to sort of preserve the fitness of our players coming into the game against Liverpool. again, good first half. Again, and I've been very, very harsh on him the last few weeks because I genuinely want better from him. I need to see a bit more from Foden. I do need to see just a little bit more from Foden, man. I just need to see him just influence the game in some way, shape or form. Is what I need from Phil Foden, because I just haven't seen that since the end of December. I haven't seen it with him, man. He had a very good November, very good December, and I thought he was back, but he's just sort of resorted to his form of last season, and it's just not good enough, is it? It just really isn't. So if there's anything I want to see in the second half, it's just a big Foden performance. I'm getting a good Vinders performance, because I'm a huge supporter of Vinders. I think he's good. I think he's very important to how we play. Contrary to popular belief, but Foden just needs to just step it up just a little bit, man. Just a little bit. Well, again, has anyone got any halftime thoughts for me, man? What have we got? Give me your. Let me move that actually. Give me your halftime thoughts, man. Excited to see what everyone's thinking. Excited to see everyone's halftime thoughts. But definitely, I want to see Diaz get a few minutes towards the end of the game. I think you get Diaz on for a few minutes, get him warmed up for the big game at Anfield. Obviously get McKay some minutes as well, Nipon some minutes as well, make him make his City debut. There are players that could definitely benefit from some minutes on this bench. I think even Lewis as well. If Foden doesn't start to carry his weight in the second half, bring Lewis on in midfield. I think a game like this where we're comfortable is a game where people can sort of take the biased glasses off when looking at Lewis's performance and see that he actually is a capable midfielder and could do the job in the City midfield, because people really do not like to admit that Lewis is a good option for us in midfield. People are adamant that he's got no place at City. They're adamant, which I don't think is the case. I think is extremely disingenuous. I kind of sort of feel the same way when it comes to Vinders as well. I think he's, especially in the last few weeks, I think Vinders has been very, very important for us. And I think Lewis, although he's not world class and the best midfielder you're ever going to see, I think he's been putting in better performances recently than Foden. And Foden should be held to a higher standard than Rico Lewis, but for some reason Lewis gets more flack than Foden for his ball performances, which doesn't really make much sense to me personally. But that's again, that is just my opinion. I'm happy to hear anyone else on it, but I just think they're two very underappreciated players. Very, very underappreciated. You look at this Newcastle chance again for Willock. I think that's really good goalkeeping from Trafford. And again, I've said multiple times it's very important for Trafford to have big moments like this where he makes big saves. And I wouldn't say game-defining saves, because obviously none of them have been game-defining. We're filing up on aggregate, but he's made big saves, and that's obviously going to fill him with confidence. Compared to games against Leverkusen and against Spurs, where he just lacked that confidence. And when you're having a big game against a Premier League side like Newcastle, it means more to you than Exeter or Huddersfield or Swansea. Do you know what I mean? But no, this Vinders performance, man, I'm heavily enjoying this Vinders performance, man. Heavily enjoying this Vinders performance. I think him, Marmoush, and Semenyo have been superb. I'm actually more inclined to believe that sort of Reinders is playing as our false 9 over Foden. Actually, he's picking up a lot more dangerous positions, going in the final third and even in the midfield as well. I think he's just always in space, which is something that we're not really getting from Foden at the moment. No, this Reinders performance is very reminiscent of his debut, his Premier League debut against Wolves. It's sort of the same feeling, just against slightly better opposition, if I'm honest. I did forget to put a bet on this game. I think that might be why City are winning, and what we're playing so well, because I forgot to put a bet on, which is quite, it's always disappointing. But we will have, while I've got you on this halftime and there's no football to talk about, we will have a live stream for Manchester City versus Liverpool, right? We will be live for Manchester City versus Liverpool. 4 o'clock on Sunday, you will see me live on this channel for Manchester City versus Liverpool. You will see me live for that. I will be here on this channel. And Saturday as well. Not this Saturday, the Saturday after, we will be back again for this exact same fixture, Manchester City at home against Newcastle. So, note those down in your calendar. They will be available on the live tab soon enough to bookmark, so you do not miss, because these live streams are great, man. These live streams are great. Obviously, we'll have a match reaction video after this game is finished as well, so we've got plenty of content coming your way, and I have an extra special video that is close to being released, guys. I have a very special video that is in the works, and you guys will really enjoy it, man. It's some of my best work, honestly. So, keep your eyes peeled on the channel, man. I've got some exciting stuff coming your way. Got some very exciting stuff coming your way. So, keep your eyes peeled for that. But we still got a game on our hands, kind of slightly today. Although I do think City are already over the line, and it would actually have to be a great sort of absolute catastrophe if we don't somehow qualify for the final of the Carabao Cup from here. But there is still 45 minutes to be played. And I don't necessarily think it's going to be a big 45 minutes, but it's a 45 minutes that definitely still does need to be taken seriously nonetheless. These, again, one of my biggest issues with City this season is taking the foot off the gas when we don't need to. Prime example again being on Sunday against Spurs. I do hope to see some changes, though. I do think it would be to our detriment if we keep the same starting 11 on, the whole starting 11 on for the second half, if I'm honest. tell you what, it's been a long day. It has been a real long day. You know, as much as I do like these late kickoffs, because it usually means I can definitely 100% stream. It does fucking, like, by the time the stream comes around, I'm absolutely shattered. Reinders has created more chances for and had 3 shots and had the most shots on target than any other player in the first half versus Newcastle. Told you, bro, this is a special performance. Special performance from a special player. Boom, is that working? That should be working as well. That's perfect, man. That's perfect. Getting ready for the second half. You know, again, expecting a big second half. Not like sort of in the sense of attacking football and scoring more goals. Just a professional and comfortable second half where we just aren't allowing like constant pressure on our goal. Would just be nice, man. It'd just be a nice change of pace. Jacob Murphy getting ready to come on for Newcastle. As well as Alanga as well. So with Barnes already on, Vissa on as well. Interesting. Very interesting. Doesn't look to be any City changes though. Just ones for Newcastle. Doesn't look like there's been any City changes. Alanga, Vissa and Murphy are coming on. No City changes. It actually is. No, we are getting a City change. Max Alain will be coming on for City. And he's coming on for Ake. I thought it was going to be Diaz coming on a bit later in the game, but no. It is Max Alain coming on for Nathan Ake. So let me just edit that one for you now. Give me 2 seconds if it actually wants to load. That has loaded. That should all be up there now, I hope. I think. Is that all good? Yep. And then you got Voltemade off for Vissa, Willock off for Alanga, and Hall off for Murphy. Looks like we'll be getting the second half underway now. And City do get us underway in the second half. Trafford hooks it long in search of Semenyo. It's won by Byrne, but it is put out for a throw-in. That is a very poor pass from Nico G and from Kusanov even, and Vissa's in behind, but Vissa has put it wide, and that's a let-off. You know, I was literally just saying, we need a comfortable second-hand performance where we're not giving up easy possession, and that is a poor pass sideways to O'Reilly from Kusanov, and he's not quick enough to recover, but luckily Vissa's just lost all of his composure and put the ball like completely wide under little to no pressure, really. Ball long to Semenyo again. Once again beat in the air by Dan Byrne. You know, you're not really expecting any different outcome there. Murphy's dispossessed by Nunez, who cuts back and goes back to Kusanov. Now it's Nico G. Tries to get it forward to Semenyo, but he's pass is intercepted. Now it's going to go out for a throw into Newcastle to be taken by Murphy. Oh wait, no, it is a City throw. Never mind, it will be Nunez to take the throw. He throws it back to Kusanov. Now it's a lane. Vinders. O'Reilly. Vinders. A lane. O'Reilly. Nico G. Foden. Kusanov. Nunez. Just keeping possession, knocking it round, keeping it simple as well, keeping it very, very simple. That's all we've got to do for like the next 40-ish minutes. Trafford. He hits one forward in search of Marmouche. He's beat into it by Botman. But he can only find a lane with his pass forward. Now it's Gonzalez. A lane. James Trafford. Trafford long to Marmouche, who's beat to the ball by Botman, and Botman 100% wanted that ball a lot more than Marmouche. Now that Visser shot is nuts, bro. Like I actually don't understand. I'm not really understanding how he's not got that on target. Like I don't get it. Like I don't even really get the technique he went with for that shot either. Like I don't really know what he was trying. If I'm being honest, man. Like that was it's a bit daft, you know. Just a bit. Foden now. Gonzalez. Max Alain. O'Reilly. Kusanov. Facts, bro. Facts. Tell you what though, from what I've seen at Visser at Newcastle, like his composure in front of goal is actually like mad low. Marmouche. Like I actually think I might have more composure chatting to the gal than Visser has in front of goal in a Newcastle shirt, and that's saying something. Foden. O'Reilly. Marmouche. Max Alain. O'Reilly again. Nah, facts. That's only facts. Only facts you've just spat there. Only facts. Kusanov. Nico G. Vinders tries a bit too much there, and the ball sees its way through to Trippier, who plays it forward for Visser to chase, but Kusanov does look like he will get there, and he does. And then he goes to Nunez. Back to Trafford. Now it's Max Alain. O'Reilly. Marmouche brings down Trippier. I can imagine it's going to be quite a boring second half, but you know, I'll take that as long as it books us a place in the final. I can take a boring second half. Do have Alanga running in behind Max Alain here. Does try to get the cross in, but Alain's able there to recover and block it. It will be a corner to Newcastle. Again, another player that's not impressed for Newcastle, Anthony Alanga. But anyway, corner to Newcastle. Get me on the channel for the final, bro. I've told you I'm not watching that final, bro. Like I don't have the mental stability to watch that game, bro. I'll vanish off the face of the earth. Another good catch by Trafford. $50 minutes on the clock now. Still 3-0 to City. I can imagine that's going to be how it stays as well. Bro, you're not going to be the one crashing out, though. Have you seen the way... Have you seen the attacking football we play? Like, taking this game... Like, this game is in its own vacuum. Like, this game doesn't count. The attacking football we play is actually diabolical. Marmoush has lost his mind. What is he thinking, bro? What was that? Yeah, anyway... On like a normal day, the attacking football we play is diabolical, and the defensive football you play is borderline illegal. So, like, that's just not something that I'm willing to watch. Ramsdale actually spanners the ball out of play, and it will be a City throw-in. Nah, at Arsenal, he actually was the most overrated player in football, and I won't have anyone tell me differently. Kusanov. Nico G. Kusanov again. Now it's a lane. Plays a nice ball out to Nunez. He's got time to bring this one forward, does Mateus Nunes. Wide to Semenyo. Back to Nunez. Bro, you were called... No way people were calling you crazy for saying that. Like, he's not good. He's not good, bro. Like, he's not. Marmoush round the corner to Vinders. Still to Johnny Vinders. Still to Johnny Vinders. But now it's rolled all the way to Ramsdale. Yeah, I wouldn't trust Ramsdale. Like, he's just not, like... Although, like, in his first season, I don't think Vryle was much better. I think he's definitely gotten better, like... in the last few, in the last few seasons. But like when he originally came into Arsenal, I don't think he was that good. Nico G forward to Semenyo. He's got a lot to do here. Able to bring it inside. Vinders ahead of him. And it's intercepted. Oh, there we go. I remember his passing straight to Southampton players when we were on the Unreal. It wasn't even just that. Do you remember the away game to Southampton as well, where you conceded because he was looking at a pigeon, and what he said in that Ian, I know everyone harps on about it, but what he said in that Ian Wright interview, why, as a professional footballer, why would you say that? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, why? 3-3 to relegate Southampton. That was a dark game of football. Like, that was actually, like, obviously I was loving it. But like, that was a dark game of football. If I had to witness my team put in that sort of performance, then I would have cried, bro. Like, it would have been over. It would have been over for me personally. Yeah, I don't know why you'd say that though. Like, he had a cushy job. Like, he had such a cushy job. Like, he was literally... Oh, Max Alain's lost his mind. Oh, man. Yo, nah. Nah, I'm actually speechless at what's just happened there. Ball's played in behind from Marmoush, and obviously he's got the pace on Trippier. Marmoush, still Marmoush. He lays it off to Johnny Vinders, who just drags it wide. I thought Marmoush was going to hit that. It's went to VAR to check for a potential foul on Johan Wissa, I think. Anyway, yeah, it's a brilliant ball in behind for Marmoush to chase. He was always going to get there in front of Trippier. Does well to cut back. Probably should have squared it to Semenyo originally, and it's not a good attempt from Vinders. He tried to place it into the bottom corner, and he just completely sort of miskicked it. But yeah, let's look at this again with Elaine. He takes a bad touch, loses the ball. I think Visser does probably go down a little too quickly, a little too easily. Like, it's very poor from Elaine, very, very poor. But I don't think Visser. I think there's not enough contact on Visser for him to go down the way that he does. But that's crazy defending. I don't know how I feel about that. Like, and that's put me on edge. Like, we're 5-0 up in this tie, and I'm on edge. Why? Why does right? My mum was saying this to me as well. Why does Vinders annoy you? Ain't Norris now just being fouled. Because I actually think Vinders is a baller. Like, I actually think he's so good. Like, yeah, he's a bit inconsistent in the final third, but like, I actually think he's like one of our better midfielders. But everyone calls me a madman for saying that. I actually think he's been playing an absolute masterclass so far. But like, I just get told I've lost my mind. Foden's lost his mind though. Like, I can't keep defending this. I mean, I've already stopped defending it. Oh yeah, facts. He does see the goal and just the goal. Like, that is definitely one of his downsides. But you know, we all know man like that. It's like Madueke. Madueke gets the ball, yeah. Madueke only passes the ball when like he knows he's gonna lose the ball. Like, Madueke only passes the ball if he has to. That's the main reason Madueke can't be playing at the World Cup. Because Madueke plays for Madueke. Oh man. Hour on the clock though now basically, and it's still 3-0 City, and you know, there's been a few chances. Bro, don't even... Nah, bro, that was... Nah, people need to relax. That was some discourse that I wasn't a fan of. That was not entertaining footballing discourse. Foden. Nunez. Nico G. O'Reilly. Ain't Nori. O'Reilly, Foden, Vinders. Oh no, that's Vinders. My bad. I've lost my mind. Nunez, Kusa, Semenyo. That's a poor pass to O'Reilly, but Semenyo wins it back. Foden. O'Reilly. Nah, Pep is bold. He's very, very bold. Poor pass forward from Marmouche. Now it's Barnes, Visser. He's brought down in the middle of the pitch, and that'll be a free kick to Newcastle. Bro, I don't like that Arteta's unlocked the squad rotation DLC. Bro, Man City need to unlock the learning how to defend DLC. Bro, I saw that lineup. Yeah, in the Champions League, in the final Champions League game, he's learned the squad rotation DLC, bro. Trafford. Just pass it to Elaine. Hopefully he doesn't lose his mind again this time. Bro, Elaine's lost his mind, bro. Like I don't want to be harsh to him because he's only a kid, innit? But like, he's not good enough on the ball. Still Newcastle coming forward. Now it's Alanga. He goes back to Shaw. Alanga. Shoots. We've just let Anthony Alanga score. We've just let Anthony Alanga in a Newcastle shirt score. We've just let Newcastle Alanga score, ladies and gentlemen. Newcastle Alanga has just scored against us. It's poor defending by O'Reilly as well. Really poor defending from O'Reilly. And now, unfortunately, we've let Anthony Alanga in a Newcastle shirt score against us. Oh no, their business has been awful, but Alanga's just scored. That's kind of ruined my evening a little bit. Even though we've still got a pretty healthy lead, I wouldn't mind another goal now, just so sort of Newcastle don't set into some decent momentum. Oh no, they've both been tragic. I think obviously Voldemort has been decent. I think he blows hot and cold. You know, I don't think he's like been a world beater, but I don't think he's been bad. Obviously Ramsdale was a panic because they needed a new backup goalkeeper and they couldn't get Trafford. Because obviously Nick Pope's not good enough anyway, but he's still better than Ramsdale. Jacob Ramsey, I don't think, lit the world on fire as well. Like, I actually, off the top of my head, I don't remember how much they got Voldemort for, if I'm honest. If I'm being real, I don't remember. There's been another free kick given there. I'm not even too sure what that's for. I'm not too sure what that was for. Daisy, I hate to break it to you, Liverpool are not top. No, thank you. Suarez like 70 mil. Yeah, it probably was, but like, then again, in this day and age, for a number 9, is that really that bad? How much did you pay for your man? And I don't care if he scores goals here and there. He is a tragic footballer. Like, the idea... Actually, I'm going to look how much they signed Voldemort for right now, actually. I'll do some research on that. Never mind. Haaland's warming up now. While I'm off side questing on transfermarket.com. Oh, never mind. It doesn't want to load. So it was 69 million. I can't even tell if you're joking with that sum, with that magical sum that you've just pulled out. Max Alain's now on the floor again, which is absolutely fan-dabby-dozy. Fan-dabby-dozy. Trafford forward now. And the ball goes straight through to Ramsdale. Again, 69 million is not that bad. Like, again, when you look at a lot of the strikers that have moved to the league, like, I think there's only one right now which I think is probably better than Voldemort. Or two, actually, Igor Thiago. Like, when I actually look at the 9s that are in this league, like, although there's quite a few 9s now, I don't think any of them are like world class, obviously, except Haaland. Like, I actually don't think Gyökeres is good enough. I think Liverpool bought Isak just because they could. I think they were always better off with just having Ekitike. Sesko is inconsistent, I'd say. Obviously, I think he's got better under Carrick though. Voltemada again inconsistent. Vissa's in on goal, so I'm actually not going to talk on Vissa right now. Is that Harvey Barnes? Harvey Barnes just scored. I can't be bothered, man. Oh, offside. I was about to crash out. No, I was about to have a heavy crash out. Was he actually offside? Alright, good. I was about to crash out. I was about to go UD mode and just smash my TV. But luckily it was given offside. Because as I was shit talking Vissa, he almost just got an assist. Alright, we've got the Mandem coming on now. Rodri, Shirky, and Big H. The Mandem have arrived. I think Sesko would have been better signing for Arsenal than Gyökeres. 100%. I actually don't even know why you were. I actually don't. If I'm being honest, right? I actually don't even know why you were like heavily linked with Gyökeres. Like, I honestly think, yeah, and this isn't even me being like trying to dumb things down. Yeah, I honestly think Arteta and the club saw that your fans are calling for a striker to score goals, so they just went and found the guy that scored the most goals. Like, because like I don't know, like every time I watched Gyökeres, yeah, right, I just didn't think he was suited to the Prem. There are players that when you watch them, that you know if they're suited to the Prem or not. And Gyökeres has never struck me as someone that was. Whereas like I think Sesko can definitely do it in the Prem. It's just based on his confidence, like. You know, and there's probably even players in the league that you could have signed from in the league. We got Omar Mamouche here. Foden, please bang. Foden's lost his mind, bro. To be fair, on paper, it's exactly what the fans... it was exactly what the fans wanted, but do the fans actually know what they want? Right? Oh, why is Harvey Barnes through again? And why is Alanga in the middle? And wow, Alanga's lost his... If Alanga scored there, I would have crashed out, but it turns out he's actually terrible, so we're all good. I was about to say something, I can't remember. No, yeah, Gyökeres coming in was exactly what you wanted on paper, but like, do the fans actually know what is this defensive line we're playing, bro? This is actually atrocious. Do the fans actually know what they want? Like, it's all well and good to be like, oh, we just need a striker. We just need a striker to put the ball in the back of the net. But like, you basically got that, but he doesn't like involve himself in your link-up play at all, and he's not good enough technically to play with half of the players you've got on the pitch. But you know, that's just my humble opinion on the situation. Like, you know, freedom of speech and all that. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, do you get what I'm trying to say here? I think that was O'Reilly coming off. What, have I lost my mind? Wait, so is Nico staying on? They literally just said that, bro. I'm confused, bro. The fourth officials boggled me out, bro. What? So Nico's staying on the pitch, bro. He literally just put up number 14, bro. I'm so confused, bro. I'm so confused. Foden hooked again, though. It's getting spooky for Phil. It's getting really spooky for Phil, if I'm honest. It's getting real spooky for Phil, if I'm being real. It's getting real spooky. Spooky hours for Phil Foden, unfortunately. I think we might have to start putting a towel over the signed shirt until he starts performing well again. Like, Daisy, unfortunately, as much as I hate to say it, as much as it pains me, as much as it fills me with such anger and such rage, I think Arsenal are going to win the Premier League. Bro, I'm confused. Bro, Why is Nico still on this pitch? I thought he was taking off. He taking him off for Rodri. Yo, why is Alanga in on goal? Ain't Nori just saved. Ain't Nori, bro. I love you. Oh, he's offside. He's offside. Okay, cool. Cool. That almost got dark again. Oh, he is Cochin offside. He is so offside, bro. That's something, alright. I don't know what exactly. I don't know exactly what you'd call that. Rodri goes long in search of Haaland, who just about brings it down. He's got Marmoush up there with him. Can't find Marmoush, and Newcastle come away with the ball. And there's Ramsdale. What? Nah, this is the worst game of football I've ever watched. This is the worst game of football I've ever watched. What has Ramsdale just done there? I can't be the only person that thinks this is probably the worst 14 minutes of football I've ever watched. Well, Ramsey coming forward. He's played it to Trippier in 2026, and he's played it across to Vissa, but it's hooked away by Nunez. Ain't Nori heads it inside to Rodri, and it's back to Ryan Ain't Nori. Rodri. And I'm back to Trafford. Now, this game actually needs to end. I actually don't feel comfortable watching this football match anymore, man. It's actually filling me with dread for every approaching minute, knowing that it could easily get worse. Harvey Barnes is in on goal. He's had his shot blocked by Kusanov, and now it's Vinders. We are terrible, bro. The thing we're leading this game 5-1 on aggregate is if you told me just based off of if the score wasn't up on the side of the screen, Newcastle have had 6 shots and 1 on target in this second half, and we've had 1 shot in total. What I'm watching is actually making me mad. Take away the score at the top of the screen, yeah, right? Take away the score at the top of the screen. If I was just watching this football, I actually think we were losing. How would you feel if Newcastle somehow level this? Bro, I wouldn't be around for them to level it. If it got to 5-4 in aggregate, bro, I'm leaving, bro. And you can decide whether I'm leaving the stream, I'm ending the stream, or I'm leaving this earth. Right? You can make up your mind. That's up for interpretation on what I mean by leaving. That's probably a foul. That is a foul. Let's stick me as right wing. I'm a solid right winger. That's a lie. I could play up front, but I don't think I could play on the wing. I don't think I'm quick enough. I'm kind of quick, but I'm not fast. I'm just I can just move at a considerable pace. It's nothing groundbreaking. I'm not going Usain Bolt sort of Mo Farah mode, but I'm covering some ground. Yeah, exactly that, bro. If it even I couldn't play I could not. I don't have the defensive discipline to play in defense. Who's this that's coming on? Oh, this is dark. Trippier is off the pitch though, so I don't have to watch Trippier score, because even Trippier scored, but Ozil's on for the last 15 minutes, and hopefully City can just not do anything absolutely, out of the, sort of just anything stupid, really. Do I have much faith in that happening? No, not really, because this last 20 minutes has been diabolical. Shirky now. Oh, okay. I could defend an... Actually, no, I couldn't defend an ice cube because it would melt and then I'd slip. That's actually facts. I wanted to disagree, but it's facts. It's facts. It is facts. Nico G. Max Elaine. You know what? Fair play. Max Elaine's motoring forward. He plays it through to Marmoush. He's got Vinders inside. Omar Marmoush to Johnny Vinders. And that's terrible. So Vinders had a very good first half, but this second half has been a bit, it's just left a little to be desired. Shirky. Nunez. It's actually kind of scary because you are like only an inch smaller than Haaland. But I do think, even though you weigh like a considerable amount more than him, I actually still think he absolutely deals with you like in a shoulder to shoulder. I still think he absolutely like deals with you. Nunes forward. So is that Nico G running down the channel? It is. And he's now just fouled Tonali for absolutely no reason. No, he doesn't, though. Nah, he actually doesn't. Nah, don't actually... That's actually a lie that's offended me. That's a lie that's actually offended me. Only because it's a blatant lie. Guy just... Bro's actually just, like, described himself as a trampoline, bro. Nico G. Okay, never mind. That's straight up play. Bro, end this game already, please. I have a green screen somewhere, actually. I just don't know where it is. Like, I had a green screen. I spent fucking like 150 quid on a green screen and I used it like 3 times. It's just like, it's just annoying to set up. It's not overstimulating. It's like, it adds character. Like, it's better than if I was just sat in some like dingy shed. I have a dingy shed as well. Like, I could go get set up in my dingy shed. Actually, no, I couldn't. My shed's tiny. I don't think I could. I'd barely fit standing in my shed. Let alone, like, I wouldn't fit a chair in my shed. I would lose a green screen because, like, it's just a bit of it's just a bit of fabric. Like, I don't know where it's gone. Like, I know where the stand for it is, but I don't know where the actual screen in question is. I might need to, bro. If that bunker's still available, we might need to get the bunker. Like, I might need to go on Rightmove after this and see if that bunker's still available, and I can write it off as a business expense. Use your bedsheet. My bedsheet's not green though, is it? Cherky to Vinders to Haaland to Marmouche. Oh my! The less said about that Omar Marmouche shot, the better, if I'm honest. The less said about that Omar Marmouche shot, the better, because that was absolutely diabolical. What does that even mean? I don't even know what that means. Oh, Omar Marmouche, that's actually upset me. Rodri. Kusanov. I'm not dignifying that with a response. Tonali on the free kick for Newcastle. Aimed towards Dan Burn. And it's leapt to bounce. And that's almost found its way into the back of the net. But Visser has absolutely shut the bed again and not scored. I don't like how we're making Anthony Elanga look competent right now. And Max Alain's absolutely spannered the clearance as well. That's an absolutely outrageous pass. Now Elanga's had a shot from range because I need this game to end. I actually need this game to end. Like, I'm not having fun anymore. Rodri's now getting pressed in our own box, and he's actually refusing to pass to Max Elaine because he doesn't trust him on the ball. Nico G, Vinders, Rodri, Rayan Shirky. In behind to Erling Haaland. 1 touch by Erling Haaland. 2 touch by Erling Haaland, and it's saved by Ramsdale. That really should have been 4-1. That really should have been 4-1. That's a really good pass though, through to Haaland. Shirky picks it up, nice turns. It's a good run by Haaland, a good touch by Haaland, but no, he should have done a lot better with the finish. Excellent pass from Shirky there. Corner to City. And we've got Rico Lewis coming on. I don't know who that is for though. Oh, it's for Nico G. We are getting some Lewis minutes in midfield, which you love to see. Oh, I've just mistyped his number. Corner short to Vinders. Now it's Shirky. Plays it back inside to Vinders. Rodri. Rico Lewis. Nunez. All the way back to Trafford. 7 minutes of normal play still to go, and it's still City 1, Newcastle. City 3, Newcastle 1. 5-1 in aggregate. Rodri, Vinders. Turns again. Tries to find Nori, but he's brought down by Vissa, and that will be a free kick to City. Elaine. Marmouche. Nori. Still Nori. Keeps going, Ryan Nori. And then he's brought down. Is that a foul by Murphy? That will be a foul by Murphy. Be a free kick on the edge of the Newcastle box for City with just 5 minutes of normal play left to go. Shirky on the free kick. Straight at Ramsdale. Poor set piece once again from City. Shirky cuts inside Ryan Shirky, still Shirky. Haaland shoots, saved by Ramsdale. Is that going to go out for a corner? Yes, it is. Another City corner. Corner of City. Once again taken short by Shirky to Vinders, and then back to Shirky. And then to the edge of the box to Lewis, who crosses one in low. Rodri shoots, and it's palmed and kept in play by Ramsdale. He goes in long in search for Elanga. He brings it down but can't keep it in play, and it'll be a throw in to see. Shirky, poor pass forward. Very, very poor pass forward. Now it's Elanga. Got Murphy on the outside. He goes for the first time cross. It's cleared by Elaine. Rodri. Now Shirky. Marmoush and Haaland ahead of him. He goes back to Lewis. Now it's Rodri. Now it's Elaine. Back to Lewis. Forward to Shirky. Now he goes back to Nunez. Because Haaland keeps putting very tame shots at Ramsdale for him to save to increase Ramsdale's PR. Marmoush. Nori. Vinders. Now it's Shirky. Still Shirky. Still Shirky. Blocked by Botman. Rodri. Now it's Ramsey. That's a foul by Kusanov. That's a blatant foul as well. 2 minutes of normal time still to play. Still 3-1 at the Etihad. And the sooner this game ends, the better, I think, for all parties involved, really. Ramsdale. He goes forward in search of Vissa, who is beaten to the ball by Kusanov, as you'd expect, really. And now it's Max Elaine. Rodri. Kusanov. Lewis. He's dispossessed on the edge of the box. Now it's Tonali shoot straight at Trafford. Realistically, he should keep hold of this one now, but he doesn't. Goes straight to Shirky. Does a nice little... Oh, that's superb footwork from Shirky there. Now it's Rodri. Nah, no way. Nah. You know where you've just said that after that Shirky. That absolute nice little bit of footwork from Shirky. Now it's Vinders. Nunez. Vinders. Nunez again. Lewis. You also can't say that, bro. You watch Arsenal every week. Talking about this is boring, bro. Have a day off. Elaine. Rodri. Oh, you're a minute behind. Yeah, nah, I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. That's a Shirky ball, bro. Something you just need to get used to. So nice ball in behind to Marmoush. It's dealt with by Shaldo. Now it's Tonali. 2 minutes of additional time to play at the Etihad. And it's Elanga once again bursting forward. Still Elanga. His run is put to a halt by Nori, who is now going to go in the book. And it's going to be a free kick to Newcastle on the edge of the Manchester City box. Luckily, Kieran Trippier is not on this pitch. So I do not have to see Kieran Trippier score a free kick in the year of 2026. Never mind, it was not Nori to commit the foul. I think that was a Rodri. So Rodri once again goes into the referee's book. Tonali stands over this free kick for Newcastle, getting ready to cross it into the Manchester City box. Still, Tonali stood over this free kick, getting ready to cross it into the Manchester City box. He lays it off to Murphy. Murphy just dinks one in and it's headed clear by Nori. Only as far as Murphy. He's getting closed down by Shirky. Goes all the way back to Ramsdale. Ramsdale hoops it forward in one last attempt to get another consolation goal for Newcastle. Now it's Rodri. Haaland. Shirky. Still Shirky. Still Ryan Shirky. He passes it to Reinders, who still keeps the ball to Gianni Reinders, then tries to chip it into Lewis. Now it's Marmoush, wrestles the ball off of Alanga. Shirky, last 10 seconds of the match. Still Shirky. Dinks it out wide to Ain't Nori. And that is full time. Manchester City qualify for the final of the Carabao Cup after a 5-1 aggregate win against Newcastle, where they will play Arsenal at Wembley. You know, I hope everybody enjoyed the stream. Obviously, this is your final chance to like the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thanks for everyone that came and watched the stream, and be prepared for my match reaction video, which will probably be out in like 45 minutes. So yeah, thanks for everybody who watched it, and I'll see you in my